How y'all doing? It's the It Factor. How y'all doing today? My name is Jeremy, the host. And today I have my brother, my friend. Went to college together, my brother, man, Isaiah Grigsby. How you doing today, man? Introduce yourself.
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me. I'm Isaiah Grigsby. Graduated from Clark Atlanta University, May 2018, with a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. Since graduating from college, I've been working at Lockheed Martin here in the Bay Area, working in security and also software engineering. But happy to chat today.
All right, cool. We'll start off with a simple question. I ain't gonna pick your brain a little bit today. So what is the reason you decided to go into the STEM field?
Yeah, so I think the idea of creating something from nothing, like going from an idea one day to actually being able to have it built or start building it the next, I think that's been kind of like the driving factor. And then also when I was in like high school, I took this web development class, not knowing much about websites or how computer science filled into like my bigger picture in life. Because I was a huge basketball player, so I didn't know how computer science or this web development class would actually benefit me.
Right.
But now today I see that it's paying off, and that one class I took in high school, it was something that kind of put me ahead of my other colleagues.
That's amazing. Yeah, man. I had some similar things, like a good football player and kind of like the sport and everything, but like I never really got the chance to take tech courses in high school.
Yeah.
When I did get to college, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do computer science. They made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I like computers. I thought I was gonna be taking computers apart, but
yeah,
of
I know,
course,
right?
it ain't even what we do. But
right.
I'm thankful that I did do it as well as you say too, because you never know the roads that your life is gonna change or how it's gonna go. So I'm glad.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's how I was able to meet you. So yeah.
Right.
So what made you choose Clark Atlanta University?
Yeah, so came from a pretty unique background. Wasn't I exposed to, I guess, many minority like communities besides, I guess, basketball and traveling and having those type of friends. I went to mostly kind of private Catholic schools my entire life. And then that exposure to HBCUs was like great for me. Clark had, all this funding for cybersecurity that I don't think many people knew about. And that's why I really choose Clark, because my freshman year I went to a school called Marymount, which was more of a commuter school in Arlington, Virginia. And then I was like, hey, I need to, make a switch and kind of, branch out a bit. So I took my talents down to Atlanta, got connected with like Dr. George and Miss Moore and Crystal, and they were, they welcomed me with open arms. And then everyone within the computer science department were great too. I think when I first started, people were like, who's this new guy on the block? Because when I first started, I was going to Morehouse, and I transferred from Morehouse to Clark, and people still thought I went to Morehouse. But once the semester started rolling through, they were like, hey, this guy actually goes here. I'm starting to see him in more classes. And that's why I really chose Clark. I think the teachers, the small, tight-knit kind of community within computer science, everyone knew each other. We used to all help each other with homework. I think that's what, yeah, I know, right? And I think that's what kind of, drove me there and kind of kept me as well.
Right. I like that, man, because, Sujahi, we needed each other.
Man, we needed each other, man.
How's it being a security engineer, man?
Yeah, so I think security has been really good for me, and from a unique approach from actually being a software engineer, actually writing code, to actually being on the security side as well, and being embedded within those, software engineering teams. When you think of like software engineering teams, they don't really I wouldn't say they don't think about security, but I don't think security is at the forefront of, their design or, how they actually develop code. So being on the other side and actually, knowing the problems that, software engineers face before they actually, have meetings with me, it actually puts everything into perspective. I think my day-to-day role, it kind of evolves between, being a security engineer, which focuses on like penetration testing and, building out tooling for our security team, and also just mitigating risk altogether. And then also on the application security side, which is more focused on how do we make sure that our applications are actually secure from, malicious actors. So I would say like, when it comes to, say if there's a website similar to like Facebook or something, how do we make sure that, all the information that's being put into Facebook is secure and not being attacked by like foreign nationals and, the Chinese? Like how do we build infrastructures that are built to take input from, thousands and millions of users without it being, tampered with by, other companies or other malicious actors. So that's basically like what I do on a day-to-day from a high level. It's pretty fun, pretty rigorous. I wouldn't say I kind of jumped into it knowing everything. It was something that I kind of
learn over
got
time.
thrown. Yeah, you know how it is on the job.
When you job, be like, okay, I got to figure it out. Yeah, man. Same thing happened to me with being a software developer, man. All the stuff, I'm doing automation work now, and I'm kind of like, I didn't know nothing at first, but now they like, oh, you can do the project by yourself. No, like, no.
No, I can't, right?
I need help.
Right?
But
yeah.
I know it. I know how the field is, though. But I do want to learn more, about security because I did like it in school, and I think it would be cool. But the next lady I have, she's gonna be talking about security because she works in security too. So,
okay, nice.
Yeah, she works in security at GM. And I'm never in the meetings to see like what they be doing and stuff like that. So I wanted to learn about that, man.
Yeah, I think depending on like I think every industry is pretty interesting when it comes to security, but I think more consumer focused industries are definitely a lot more important because you're securing basically, that type of data for the user. So it's like Apple, if you're working in like the car industry, you're securing the data of, the people that are driving the cars. And I mean, everything is kind of like moving towards technology now. You're able to open your car by using your phone. That's pretty interesting.
You're over with your phone. You ain't got the handle anymore. That's kind of weird, man. But I like it though. I like how technology is advancing. It is, man.
Right.
I'm glad that we on the forefront of be able to be like, well, I implemented some of this, you was like, I did a little bit of that. Like, that's a little bit of what I do, I don't explain it, but I'll be like,
it's been good. Yeah, it's been actually good to actually be around when security wasn't kind of like the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now seeing it kind of emerge and it being like the biggest topic, like on the news. And now everyone's working. Yeah, now everyone's working remote. It's become like a more important thing. Mm-hmm. Companies are having to invest in, VPNs because people are connecting from home or wherever they are to make sure that, there's no man in the middle attacks or people, coming in between the connections that, users have with their jobs.
Right.
I think it's really put companies in interesting positions now. Yeah, and it actually questions, whether your company really values security.
Yeah, man. So moving along, what I'm saying, why do we need to advance opportunity for Black collegians in the tech and business field?
Yeah, so I would say diversity in tech is important. I don't think there are not a lot of people of color in leadership positions at tech companies. Actually at the table making those, decisions. I really think that, getting a head start within, college, whether it's being exposed to different conferences, different, other opportunities outside of like the classroom, I think those are huge. I think while I was in college, I really took advantage of, the HBCU Innovation Summit, which was like hosted by UNCF in San Francisco. Also had the chance to go to Afrotech on a scholarship by Google, which was helpful as well because, that's a huge Black conference that was held in San Francisco. It was held every year in San Francisco, and you're just exposed to, different people, different areas of work in tech. And then also that was really one of my first times in the Bay Area was going to one of these conferences. And then also HBCU at South by Southwest, which was basically curated for HBCU students to get exposed to tech. the tech area within side of South by Southwest, which is the largest music tech conference held in Austin, Texas every year. So those are kind of things that I think are very important, being exposed to these type of things within, earlier on in college. Mm-hmm. And then actually when you are like in the job field, not being content with being like a individual contributor per se, going out and actually wanting those leadership positions. Because I will tell you, the white man that you're working for, they already got it mapped out.
Yeah, they already have how they about to do it and everything.
They already got it mapped out.
It's a different role for us because it's like we got to do the dirty work, then I got to do the work, then I get stuff thrown at me. But also, they think we're gonna either leave the company or say, I don't want to do this anymore before we seek those leadership roles. And I don't believe that you can do it in every company, bro. I'm just being honest. I don't see a day that ever happening, bro. Like, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just don't. I've been working in tech long enough to know, like, certain things not gonna happen. Like, it's just not. Like,
yeah,
it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it. That's why you start your own thing, or you try to do something to help a next. That's why I started this show, basically, man, to let people know, we have Black people in this, and these are the faces, and this is how we started, and this is where we're trying to go. So that's pretty much how I feel about it. Moving that speaks on the next question I'm gonna ask. So, what changes are needed to make the tech field more accepted to Blacks?
I would say that back to my previous answer about the individual contributor part. I think I've been in the Bay Area and actually kind of seen the Black and brown leaders within companies, and that's typically the only area I would really say that Black and brown people exist within leadership positions or within that chief diversity officer role, which is it's ideally supposed to be for a Black and brown person, and I think that's a good way to kind of build this pipeline or actually pull in other Black and brown people within your company to push them to be leaders, to actually build these pipelines within HBCUs to bring students along. I think some companies are doing a good job of building this pipeline of whether it's an HBCU program within their internship program, or whether it's just recruiting heavily from the HBCUs. I think Google does a good job of actually reaching out to HBCUs and building that pipeline. I think some companies are still trying to figure it out, and I think the bad thing about it is a lot of companies are feeling like they need to hire more diverse talent nowadays because of everything that's going on in the world. Right. I think it's good that they want to hire them, but I think it sucks that something like this has to happen in the world for them to actually realize.
Game plan on knowing what you're gonna do once they get it.
Yeah, and it's and you actually have to have the community for them to want to stay as well. Like, you can't just say, hey, we're gonna keep doing what we've been doing at this company, even though we've only had about 2 or 3 Black people for the past couple of years, and now we want to invite all these Black people into our kind of bubble per se. So I think companies should do a better job of creating that community once they have the talent within their company.
You're right about that. I really be wondering about that because I even know with my company, I'd be like, y'all need help. Really.
Yeah, and then
when the thing happened with George Floyd, we had a whole talk about it, and I was just like, I'm glad this talk is happening. But since then, it's like this ain't something I let them know. No one did say nothing because I'm the only Black guy on my team. I had no problem being right. But I felt the need to speak up, and when I did, a lot of people was like, they started talking then, and it was like, yeah, I didn't know you felt that way. Why didn't you say something at work? I'm like, because I'm not. Work. Like, I come to work and do work, and I go home, I might talk to y'all, my friends, or somebody like that. But I don't feel that it's an open space for me to be able to do that with y'all. Now, if it was somebody leadership that looked like me,
that's different.
We can talk, but it's not like that. And they always think that it's an issue when we bring it up. It's like, no, it's not. It's just something we deal with every day. This is not just happen. This didn't just happen.
Yeah.
So I really
and then
wonder.
Yeah, I think I think that was a difficult thing for a lot of, Black and brown people at companies, is having that kind of conversation with your white colleagues, whether, you know, I know it's difficult for me to have. I
Same.
know my manager, he during his staff meeting, he brought it up, and I was the only Black person there,
Right.
and I just said what I had to say.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting a bunch of emails after from all the people that were on the call, really appreciating me for, yeah, because it's like, if I don't say
Let
it,
them
then who's
into the
gonna
world.
say it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and I think a lot of a lot of a lot of what needs to be done needs to come from, the Black people that actually work at the company. And I think a lot of my colleagues, they were happy that I kind of stood up and kind of voiced my opinion on, how the company, viewed what was going on, and also just overall, like, what did I think about, what was going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because that brings like another topic. Like, a lot of companies say, hey, we're going to donate, all these money to, all these Black and brown, nonprofits. But then it's like, you're going to do that, but then you're not going to hire another Black or brown person
Work with me
ever. Like, you're not going to.
It kind of like one of the, and thank you for bringing that up. I talked to my boss, man, and we was talking, and he checks on me, stuff like that, since the pandemic. And after that happened, he was like, I thought about you, da da da.
Yeah.
Said, what can I do for you, to change? So he like put me in touch with this Black guy that's over, like he's a chief, like what you said earlier. He's like,
Diversity.
yeah, so he's that. And I never heard of him, but I reached out to him. We supposed to meet or whatever. Long story short, then he asked, he was like, yeah, you ever want to recruit anyone in this so you can let me know? I was like, all right, they're going to be good too. And you don't have to hire them. Now, how you going to, but you're going to have to learn how to bring them into that place and be able to put them into the right hands to be able to grow.
Yeah.
Because you put them in the wrong hands of a person, and they ain't just got to be a Black person, but you got to put them in the right hands to know, okay, I'm going to help you learn this. Oh, you don't really know how to do Java? Cool, I'm going to help you learn.
I got you.
Those type of things that can help you grow your career and want to stay there, bro. But a lot of companies ain't willing to do that,
They're not.
They're not willing to do that, man. So what is your it factor, man? Why you do what you do?
Yeah, so I think I do what I do because of the emerging need for these type of, skills and leadership within, security. I think I've been in a unique position because I have, mentors and different people who pour into me to, with this knowledge. It wasn't like, oh, I just woke up one day and, just like, oh, I want to be a security engineer. No.
Right.
I actually had people who were in the field, many, many years before that actually helped. I think like Dr. George, for instance, he really helped me, get through, kind of get into CAU, but also kind of get out of CAU as well, and help me get my internships, help me, travel.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does a really good job of that. I think for me, I see security as something that was always going to be around. It's always going to be relevant. It's only going to get bigger from now until 20 years from now. Mm-hmm. And I think being like in a really unique position right now, where it's still a growing area, and companies still have not adapted, or there's still so much to learn and different. There's so much to learn within security, and I think that's what I love so much, and why I'm still in the field. And I would love to help others back at CAU or wherever it is to just
know, bro.
Kind of strive from.
Professor, you are coming to the class, teaching classes.
Hey,
you're coming.
Let me know, man.
I don't care what it is, man. I'm just glad that we stay in touch, man, because I feel like we learned that at CAU, we'll help each other out on projects. But I always knew that I was like, that man Isaiah gonna be somebody, bro, because he be out here trying to make it happen. He trying to help other people. You always trying to get people to come to stuff. And it was one day I couldn't make it to somewhere. I think I couldn't come to South by Southwest. So I had to do something. Mm-hmm. And I felt bad. I was like, dang, I'm the only person Isaiah asked probably that really would have went. Because everybody else, who was at Clark. I was like, why don't y'all better? Then I see a lot of people now, not to talk down on them, but to be honest, like they get away from the field because I feel like they went to companies that don't pour into.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes we see the money and you be like, okay, I'm gonna be making this 75, 80K, cool. But
Right,
you don't know
right.
like the work that's gonna come behind it. And I feel like you're never gonna be prepared for that. Then they see someone like me and you and be like, oh, are they doing that? How he still thriving? It's because we
Yeah,
stuck with it. And yeah, we have mentors that have done it before. I have cousins that I always reach out to anytime I have a
yeah.
problem. Like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing it. Do it then, bro. Like, don't be scared to, go to the next step, So that's
Right.
how I keep it going.
And I will say that we've been blessed because there's a lot of people who I know from like CAU and just college that, leave college with this degree, but not really know how to apply it to, real life after school. And I think that's very, very interesting to me because I know I went to school, like being in classes with like Dr. Chen and Sujai and definitely Ali, like those classes had me wondering if I was gonna make it to the next semester sometimes. So I knew off the bat, like I was going into like
you had to
engineering.
learn on your own, you had to learn
Right.
stuff on your own. And then I feel like the classes, the work ethic, and the internships really was to paint the picture to see, okay, I can do this, but this is how I gotta do it. Because school I feel like school, we mess up because and it's our job to let the future know that, you got to do an internship co-op or while you're in school, even if it's one time, because it's going to give you a different perspective. Oh, this is what after college. This is what I'm going to do after college. Okay, this is how it goes. So you can know, okay, I don't like the code. Okay, but this job I can do instead of saying, I ain't doing it at all no more. The reason why I'm getting to the point where I'm saying I might not do it at all, because I've done it enough to know, like, not saying it's not for me, but I don't want to do it. I want to move on to something else.
More. Yeah. Yeah, and this field gives you the chance to kind of move around and to apply your skills wherever you see fit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. So, what is the most important thing you learned at CAU that you still use today?
Yeah, so I think the value of teamwork. I think that was huge for me. I think when I first started, I didn't know anyone, and I didn't know anyone. Like I didn't know anyone for probably a whole semester because I was just heads down, just working on stuff.
I can't remember
went to class
in our first class together, bro. But I remember I think we did a project together, bro. And it was like, man, that's a good dude, bro. Like, this is good.
Yeah,
you be in the class, you get in the group with them, and you be like,
man, that's it. Especially those homework assignments that you get. There's like you get these homework assignments that number one, the classes are too short to actually really grasp how to even apply what we learned in class to the actual assignment. And also the assignments due in 2 days. So you got to figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to do it.
On Tuesday, do on Thursday.
How can you game plan this? And I think like also teamwork was huge when completing these final projects. Like Sujahi had those classes where basically your project, like their final project, was make or break. Make or break everything.
Take their class again.
So if you didn't do nothing the entire semester, you better do something for that project.
Right.
And I think a lot of people figure that out kind of early or later in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it forced that kind of teamwork. And I think, that value has carried over into work because, how work is set up, especially when you start, you're not forced into teams, but you're forced into kind of like these projects where, everyone's not going to be on the same experience level as you. You're in there with senior engineers, principal engineers. And I think everyone can contribute something to the table, And I think in school, it was the same way. Like there were people who didn't show up to class or, they were just there just to, say they took the test. It wasn't a test. Throughout, college, I was just, a huge teamwork type of person and really thrived off of being in teams and helping pull other people up to, get where they, want to be for the next, year or after college or wherever they want to be. But I think, spreading that knowledge and being there to help others, that's what was super helpful.
Yeah, man. I respect that, bro, because I always think about that, man. And I always wonder, like, what could have been if you put the work in, But everybody ain't like that,
Yeah.
It is what it is, Some people come to
Yeah.
college like, I'm gonna pick this major because I know they make a lot of money. I know
Yeah.
they do this, and it's just like, just gotta live with it. I feel like a lot of people did go to school, they still successful either way. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, have at it however you want, right?
So do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. So, what was the biggest thing that you took away from CAU?
My biggest takeaway from CAU was to always look at the bigger picture. Like, when no matter what you face with at school, or we didn't always have the resources, we had a lot of money in a certain situations.
Right.
Being in the engineering program first taught me a lot of things too. But being at CAU lets you know that the world is one way. Like, it's not no million ways. But being in that black segment, like the black milker, that was beautiful, bro. Like, so it showed me that you can have that, but always look at the big picture. That's what you want to keep having. You want to keep seeing your people be successful. It was beautiful to see people, go to class, go to school, do their work, go eat in the cab, joke, do what we did. But the biggest thing I say, like, I feel like all of us always saw the bigger picture. And that's why we're successful now. And then also it taught me, I got closer with God in college, to be honest, because I got to be on my own and learn to, when failure came, I was able to reach out to him. And it's still to be here today. And I'm a positive person now because of him.
Yeah.
So I really thank CAU for all I have learned, the experiences I had, man, and just knowing that if you keep doing, man, you're going to find a way to make one no matter what.
That's it, man. That's the motto.
You're going to find a way to make one, man.
That's the motto.
Sir, man. So do you have any person you want to shout out? Anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, so I want to shout out to like all my family,
Cool.
my girlfriend, all my mentors,
Yes.
anyone who's been there to like support throughout the journey. And then also you for just like bringing me on. I love the work that you're doing.
Thank you, bro.
I try to keep in contact with like all my CAU fam, in our group chat, and just check in and see how people are doing. You just never know.
Yeah,
you just never know.
You just be busy. That's why I be like, that's my brother. But I like the real friends. Your real friends when you can call them and it look like y'all talk just.
Man, it feels like we were just in Sage Bacote yesterday.
Right, we were just in Sage Bacote, bro. But nah, man, with that, bro, I say this is It Factor, another great episode, bro. Thank you for the day, man. And I have everything to you soon and reach out to you soon, bro.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.